Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and I'm your guide for everything Chinese medicine, and I set it all up so us Westerners can figure it out. Now today, because I'm inspired by the fact that it's fricking hot outside where I am, we're moving into the second week of June, well the first full week of June, and we've already hit 100 degrees here. Oh my, global warming! Oh, calm down. Minor fluctuations like this happen all the time. Now, yes, I know it gets a lot hotter in Texas and Florida. I'm not in Texas or Florida, so shut it. Okay? It's unseasonable here. This is not okay. Okay. Now, if you can't tell, I'm sweating. Okay? And that is because, well, I've been doing a little bit of housework this morning and moving around. And it's also, like I said, kind of hot. Okay? So, we were talking about sweat in this video. Ew. Yeah. Alright, now, the sweat that I am showing is the sweat of a very specific organ. This is called the heart. That's this little guy in the middle of my chest who goes thump, 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 thump. And in Chinese medicine is made out of fire. Now, sweat in Western medicine is how our body cools itself, and it does so after exertion, during exertion, or when it's just, you know, frickin' hot outside. Okay? And it does that in order to get rid of the excess heat generated naturally by the heart fire that is not able to naturally just waft off into the atmosphere. Okay? So what happens is your body expels X amount of water, that water evaporates, pulls the heat off, Bob's your uncle, you're cooler. Okay? So, why is that important? Well, in diagnosis we take a look at the sweat and why you are sweating. Now, if you're sweating rather profusely from minor exertion, you have a problem. You're probably overweight. You may have what is called damp heat, which is caused by a myriad of problems. Ironically, some of it is caused by cold things like, say, ice cream, salads, ice water, because stuff doesn't move when it's cold, so it grinds together. You add extra water in on top of that, that gets desiccated, turns into damp. Easy. Okay? So, that is the regular run-of-the-mill sweat. Now, let's say that it's the middle of fall, and last week you had one hell of a headache on the back of your head. Your neck's kind of sore, your throat's a little tight, it's nothing you can't handle, kind of sucks to swallow, and you're just hot. But cold's bad. You don't particularly like the cold, so you're kind of vacillating between, do I roll down my window when I drive, do I have my jacket on, etc., etc., etc. And then all of a sudden you start sweating, but you're not hot. You're just sweating. Well, that is called wind-cold deficiency in Chinese medicine. Basically, what has happened is you have had an external pathogen, that's what we call wind, attack. Okay, it went after the back of the body, and it's entered you. Now, your natural defenses, what we call the Wei Qi, or even just the Qi, has weakened to the point where it can no longer afford to open and close your pores and keep the water in as needed. Okay? So, when that happens, you're not actually sweating, you're leaking. And we have a formula for that. It is called Guizhitong. Very effective. It's basically a sweaty cold and you feel tired and all that. Okay? Pretty easy to fix. Kills it in a few days. Okay? Now, there's one other form of sweat that I want to go over, and that is a nervous sweat, what we call the sweating bullets. Sweating of bullets or sweating bullets. It's also referred to as the woman of loose morals in a house of worship. If you know the saying, you get the joke. Now, what we do with that is also heart sweat. But it harkens back to the video that I did on the little bird and shame. Go ahead and check that out. Let's see, it's 2 back from this one. Okay. Basically, you know where you are, you're not actually welcome, and you're desperately trying not to be found out. Okay? What are the kids about? Cat, Maury. She's being good, gotten big. Anyway. This is one of the things that the polygraph looks after because it assumes that if a person is nervous, they are going to sweat. One of the biggest reasons why a polygraph is not admissible as evidence in the United States, despite what people tell you, is that you could be sweating for a myriad of reasons, also, which will give it a false positive. Also, you could have a false negative because the person's a sociopath and what they did was very justifiable to them. Therefore, they're not going to be nervous. Okay? That's why. So like I said, basically all sweat is oriented towards the heart unless you're actually sick, in which case you're leaking. Or if you have damp heat, in which case that needs to be resolved out and cleaned. Okay? Which, really not that hard. A few cold bitter herbs will take care of that in about a day. You'll be fine. Also, stop drinking and eating things that generate damp heat. That will help. Okay? All right. Now, there is one other form of sweat that I want to talk about, and that is palm sweat. Okay? Now, you ever walk up to somebody that you really, really like and you're really, really nervous and your hands start sweating and you're just like, ew, I gotta, ew, ew. Okay? Yeah. Also heart. Okay? It's just manifesting here. Here's the reason. The hands are a extension of the heart. That's why they're up here and not, down here or anywhere else. Okay? It is also, when you really like somebody, you embrace them. Okay? You bring them in and hold them here. Okay? That way, you can share heartbeats. Okay? It's a very intimate thing. All right? So if you're sweating here, heart is definitely implicated. Here's the other thing. If you are not nervous and you're sweating from the palms, it's spleen. Especially if you're having trouble searching for words. You're really, really good at intaking stuff, but you're not so good at getting it out. Okay? You stutter. You can't find the word. Things like that. Okay? So what you do is you take a look at the other stuff that's going on with you and say, okay, if it's nerves, straight up nerves, it's probably heart. If it's straight up information, it's spleen. Chances are it's a merger of both. Usually what I diagnose people, including myself when I have this, is disharmony between the heart and spleen, resulting usually from either a spleen chi deficiency or a spleen chi deficiency dampness. It's actually pretty easy to fix. Okay. If it's on the more deficiency side, we usually give them a formula called Guipi Tong. Acupuncture is resetting the spleen, usually with a 369. Those are the points. Couple on the stomach, and 1 or 2 on the palm for the heart. And problem usually rectifies pretty easy. Takes 1 to 2 days usually, unless it's pretty severe, in which case it'll take about a week. It's not that bad. Okay? I've seen a lot worse. Alright. So, that's about all I've got for you today. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment. Please do. It does help out the channel. And if you would like to share this with somebody who's got a lot of water leaking out of their body, please feel free to. It does help everyone involved. Alright? And if you need to get in touch with me directly, please feel free to visit my website at vigintmed.com. That stands for Vigorelli Integrated Medicine. spleensweat.com, of course. You can shoot me a message and I will get back to you. Okay? All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.